Good evening, I'm John Carter and welcome to Poland Daily. The Katyn Monument in Jersey City will be staying put. A federal judge approved an injunction order on the 27-year-old structure. Unveiled in June 1991, the bronze statue of a soldier impaled in the back by a bayonet rifle stands atop a granite base containing Katyn soil. It commemorates the massacre of thousands of Polish prisoners by order of Joseph Stalin in 1940 after Soviet Union troops had invaded eastern Poland. The event took place after the partition of Poland and its occupation during World War II.
The removal of the monument would give the impression that the perpetrators, Russians and Germans, win. Poles would have a double discomfort. They suffered during World War II, lost their independence, and now the memory of this suffering would be lost. We cannot agree to that. We can now reveal there has been a breakthrough. Yesterday, the mayor issued a statement. I am not authorized to reveal all the details, but for sure all our actions made big impression. We can call it a success. There are 2 lawsuits filed in 2 different courts in New Jersey. Poland Daily is proud to present the first images available in Poland of the actual texts of the lawsuits. The first one, filed by Katyn Forest Massacre Memorial Committee at the Superior Court of New Jersey. The second one, filed by Mr. Plata at the United States District Court, District of New Jersey. Poland Daily thanks the Coalition of Polish Americans for the pictures and for the initial idea of the injunction order voted on at the emergency meeting last Sunday night. The authors of the first lawsuit are urging all friends of Poland to take part in the demonstration this coming Saturday at Jersey City City Hall, 280 Grove Street.
Michał Królikowski, a former Vice Minister of Justice in Donald Tusk's cabinet, has been arrested on suspicion of money laundering relating to VAT fraud.
Królikowski was the legal representative of a fuel company which is suspected of participating in the embezzlement of 700 million zlotys, around $200 million from the state treasury through VAT fraud. The charges of money laundering stem from the former Vice Minister of Justice receiving 2.5 million zlotys, around $700,000 from the fuel company, and using much of it to pay off a personal loan. 2 other lawyers involved in the same case have also been charged with money laundering. According to Marcin Horała, an MP from the ruling Law and Justice Party, it seems as if the Vice Minister has been receiving strange payments. It's normal for lawyers to have contact with criminals because of the nature of their job, but in this case it seems as if things went a step too far. It looks like money has changed hands, but it's the court that took the decision to put him under arrest, and it will be up to the court to decide whether he is guilty or not. It's estimated that 250 billion zlotys, around $70 billion, were embezzled from the state during the previous Liberal government's 8 years in power.
Today, the Parliamentary Investigative Commission began their examination of the Amber Gold Ponzi scheme. Amber Gold was an investment company founded in 2009 and closed operations in August 2012. They held hundreds of millions of dollars owned by thousands of their clients. 2 witnesses were testifying today, one of whom was the former inspector of the Internal Security Agency.
According to Małgorzata Wasserman, the Financial Supervision Authority did not take sufficient measures to properly solve this case. The evidence for this is best reflected in the memo written by one of the inspectors, who said that they will not touch upon any other issue than pressing charges against Marcin and Katarzyna P. Furthermore, there was no charge of money laundering, as it would conflict with the notion that they were the ones who created the Ponzi scheme. Plain and simple, that was the assumption, and was made certain that the pair were not interrogated and no more information was determined. Ladies and gentlemen, from public knowledge I can tell you this much. Marcin P. really wanted to become a protected witness. It was the law enforcement authorities that did not want him to do so.
Organy ścigania nie były zainteresowane tym, aby nim został.
The President of the United States, Donald Trump, has decided to withdraw from the nuclear agreement with Iran. Furthermore, Trump has announced that the US will impose new sanctions on the Middle Eastern country. The sudden move from the US president follows an increase in tension of Israeli-Iranian relations, as the 2 nations appear to be on the brink of war.
Trump's decision was not a big surprise for many. The US president has been critical of the agreement made with Iran by Barack Obama's administration since its inception.
We have also consulted with our friends from across the Middle East. We are unified in our understanding of the threat and in our conviction that Iran must never acquire a nuclear weapon. After these consultations, it is clear to me that we cannot prevent an Iranian nuclear bomb under the decaying and rotten structure of the current agreement. The Iran deal is defective at its core. If we do nothing, we know exactly what will happen.
The agreement, described as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, was made between Iran, the United States, France, Great Britain, Germany, China and Russia in July 2015. It was set up to prevent Iran from continuing the development of its nuclear program. Now Donald Trump has not only decided to withdraw from the deal, but also announced he would impose the highest level of economic sanctions against Iran. In the next 90 days, the United States will withdraw licenses for the export of airplane, car, aluminum, steel and coal goods and services from Iran. Iran will also no longer have permission to purchase American currency.
Today, we have definitive proof that this Iranian promise was a lie. Last week, Israel published intelligence documents, long concealed by Iran, conclusively showing the Iranian regime and its history of pursuing nuclear weapons. The fact is, this was a horrible one-sided deal that should have never, ever been made.
Hassan Rouhani, the president of Iran, has enigmatically stated that he intends to honor the agreement with the other countries, even without the United States. I have instructed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to conduct any necessary consultations with the European countries, Russia and China in the next few weeks and coordinate all actions with them. If the discussions enable us to work with those 5 countries and honor the 2015 deal with value for the Iranian nation, then we shall take steps towards sustaining peace and security in the region and globally. But if we learn that our interests will not be taken under consideration, then I will address the nation and inform it of the government's decision. Officials of other countries which signed the agreement have expressed their concern and critique of the United States withdrawal. However, representatives of Israel and Saudi Arabia show their support for Donald Trump's decision.
Israel fully supports President Trump's bold decision today to reject the disastrous nuclear deal with the terrorist regime in Tehran. Israel has opposed the nuclear deal from the start because we said that rather than blocking Iran's path to a bomb, the deal actually paves Iran's path to an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs, and this within a few years' time. The removal of sanctions under the deal has already produced disastrous results. This is why Israel thinks that President Trump did an historic move. And this is why Israel thanks President Trump for his courageous leadership.
At a special press conference at the White House, Donald Trump has stressed that he wants a permanent solution to the threat created by Iran. He added that he is ready for talks about the new agreement if the Tehran government shows the will to do so.
Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm John Carter. Poland Daily returns same time tomorrow. Good night.